I wrote about the Ukrainian faction of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate. So obviously, to me, that is a focal point of very, very special interest. This is the largest church in Ukraine, and within that church, there is a pro-Ukrainian faction, and anybody who studied that church, for any amount of time has known about this. But they have been, keeping their silence pretty much. They never came out in public until the Maidan, until the Russian intervention, until people began to see that a Russian intervention is possible. And then all of a sudden, bishops, priests in that church, some of whom are Ukrainian, others of whom are Russian, began to stand up and say, no, this is an independent country. We are citizens of that country. And regardless whether we are Russian or regardless whether we even speak a word of Ukrainian or not, we are citizens. We don't need any intervention, and we don't want Putin here. Anybody who looks at, so what's the religious situation in Ukraine? Well, how many churches do you have? Well, we have 3 Orthodox. What? 3 churches? What's that all about? So now with the war, it doesn't seem to make an awful lot of sense to a lot of people to have an Orthodox church that is affiliated with Moscow. I mean, are these people, who are they with, right? So that is an internal question within the Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate. The pro-Ukrainians are saying, we're citizens of this country, so there's no question we're going to support Ukraine. The traditionalists are saying, well, we can't just break ties overnight with the Patriarchate. So they're looking at it from an ecclesiastical, traditional point of view and saying, things don't happen that way, canonically. So anathema, yes, it is anathema. But regardless of whether it's anathema, a number of parishes, they're in the dozens and probably over 100 by now. I haven't been keeping track to the last developments, but quite a number of Moscow Patriarchate parishes have said, hey, drag your heels. We're going to Kyiv, we're going to Filaret. And they're there already. Others haven't gone that far, but they've taken half a step, but it's a very significant step. I don't know if you are familiar with Orthodox liturgies and so on. There's a point at which you commemorate the head of your church. Okay? So a lot of Orthodox churches spontaneously, throughout Ukraine, nobody told them, they said, we're fed up, we don't like this guy Kirill anymore, we're not going to pray for him. Nobody told them. It wasn't a plan. It's spontaneous, and it's very subversive, and it's very dangerous. I could just imagine Kirill in Moscow looking at this. Where is this going?